Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Confident English Podcast, the cozy place where you learn English easily, step by step, with no stress. I'm Sophie.
And I'm Alex.
Alex, how's your week going so far?
Honestly, I spilled coffee on my laptop this morning, so, not perfect, but I'm here. That counts, right?
That absolutely counts. I'll take it. I had this moment yesterday. I was at a cafe and I overheard someone speaking English, and they kept stopping, sighing, starting again, like they were physically in pain just trying to say a simple sentence.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that look. That frozen, oh no, I forgot everything face.
Exactly that face. And honestly, it broke my heart a little because I could tell they knew the words. They just didn't trust themselves.
That's the real problem, isn't it? It's not about knowledge, it's about trust.
And that is exactly what today's episode is about. Because here's what I want you to feel by the end of this, like genuinely feel, that your English is already better than you think, way better.
Ooh, bold promise. I love it.
We're going to prove it to you, step by step, with real examples, real phrases, and honestly, a moment in this episode that might actually surprise you.
Yeah, Sophie told me about it before we recorded. I was like, wait, seriously?
And I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. You have to stay with us. But trust me, it changes how you see your own English completely. Like, it changes the game.
Okay, now I need to know.
Not yet. Okay, so here's our plan for today. We're going to look at why you underestimate your own English. Then we'll do real expressions, real dialogues, a quiz, and yes, that surprise moment. All of it in about 25 minutes.
So basically, a full confidence boost in podcast form.
Exactly. And hey, if this sounds like exactly what you need right now, share this episode with a friend who also doubts their English, because they need to hear this too. Okay, let's get into it. All right, let's start with the why. Okay, here's a number that honestly shocked me when I found it. Ready?
Hit me.
Studies show that up to 65% of language learners consistently underestimate their own level. Like, they think they're B1 when they're actually B2.
Wait, 65%? That's most people.
That's most people, which means statistically, if you think your English is just okay, you are probably wrong.
I mean, that's kind of wild and kind of amazing at the same time.
Think about it. You're in a meeting, someone asks a question, you understand every word, you know the answer, but you stay quiet because you're not sure your English is good enough.
Oh man, I've watched people do that. Even people who speak really well, they just go silent.
And what's happening there isn't a language problem, it's a confidence problem. Those are two very different things.
Yeah, like the engine is running, you just won't press the accelerator.
Yes, I love that. Actually, here's how I think about it. Your English is like a phone with 80% battery. You keep thinking it's going to die, so you never actually use it. But you have 80%. That is more than enough.
I mean, 80% battery is, honestly, that's better than my phone right now.
Same. So the rule today is this. Stop waiting for 100%. Use what you have, because what you have is already working.
And I'll say this from experience. Native speakers don't always speak perfectly either. We pause, we repeat ourselves, we say a lot. Like, a lot.
Exactly. Fluency isn't perfection. Fluency is flow. And flow, you can build that, starting today. Okay, let's get practical. Alex, I want to do a scene. You've been asked to introduce yourself at a new job in English. Go.
Oh, hi, I'm Alex. I'm in the marketing department, and I like to, make good things happen.
Make good things happen. I love the ambition.
I panicked a little.
Okay, so that was real and honestly very relatable. The I panicked feeling is what kills most intros. So let me give you 3 phrases that make introductions feel easy and natural. Phrase 1, I'm currently working on. That's your go to, not I work at, I'm currently working on. It sounds more alive, more present.
Right, like you're in it, not just describing it.
Say it with me. I'm currently working on. Go ahead, say it out loud. Seriously, don't just listen, say it. Now, 3 versions of this, because not everyone is at the same level. Simple, I work in marketing.
Yellow, natural. I'm currently working on a new marketing campaign.
The second one just sounds so much more confident, like same information, totally different energy. Exactly. Okay, phrase 2. One thing I really enjoy is this is gold for interviews, introductions, even small talk.
Oh, I use that one a lot, actually.
Inviting. Say it with me. One thing I really enjoy is beautiful. Keep that one. And phrase 3. This one is my favorite for nervous moments. To be honest with you, it buys you a second. It sounds thoughtful, and it's completely natural.
Yeah, native speakers say, to be honest, like 20 times a day.
At least. Okay, mini quiz time. Alex, you're my cobaye.
Oh no.
Limited time. Question 1. Someone asks you, what do you do? What's the more natural answer? I work marketing or I'm currently working on a marketing project?
Easy, the second one.
Yes, exactly. Question 2. You want to sound thoughtful before answering. Which phrase do you use?
To be honest with you.
Love that. You're crushing it.
I learned from the best.
Great. And hey, remember that thing I said earlier? The moment that changes how you see your own English? We're getting close, just a little longer. Stay with us. Okay, I want to tell you about a student of mine. I'll call her Maria. She was B2, genuinely B2. She could write beautiful emails. She could understand movies without subtitles. She was good.
So, what was the problem?
Every time she had to speak in a meeting, she went blank. She told me, Sophie, when I open my mouth, my English disappears. And I said, no, it doesn't disappear. You just stop trusting it.
Yeah, the brain does this thing where the moment it's high stakes, it convinces you you've forgotten everything.
Exactly. And you know what we did? We practiced one thing. Not grammar, not vocabulary, just starting sentences confidently. That's it. And within 2 weeks, she was speaking in meetings.
2 weeks?
2 weeks, because the English was always there. She just needed permission to use it. Okay, let's go deeper. Here are expressions for moments when you're nervous or uncertain. Phrase 4. If I understand correctly, this is a brilliant one. Okay, let's go deeper. Here are expressions for moments when you're nervous or uncertain. Phrase 4. If I understand correctly, this is a brilliant one.
Oh, yeah, I use that one in real meetings.
Say it with me. If I understand correctly. Perfect. This phrase does 2 things. It shows you're listening, and it buys you a second to think. 3 versions. Simple. Sorry, can you repeat? Natural. If I understand correctly, you mean that.
The second one sounds way more engaged, like, not just, I didn't get it, but here's what I think you mean.
Exactly. And phrase 5. What I'm trying to say is, this one is a lifesaver.
I literally say that in English all the time, not just learners, everyone.
Right, because thinking and speaking at the same time is hard, even in your first language. So say it with me. What I'm trying to say is. Now let's do our second dialogue. Alex, you're at a work meeting. I'm your colleague. You have an idea, but you're not sure how to say it.
Right, okay. So like, what I'm trying to say is, I think the project could be, bigger? Like, if I understand correctly, the goal is to reach more people.
Yes, exactly. That's a great point. How would you suggest we do that?
Honestly, to be honest with you, I think we need a new approach, something fresh. I'm currently working on a few ideas, actually.
Yes, did you hear that? Alex just used 4 of our phrases in one conversation, naturally, organically.
Oh, I didn't even notice I was doing it.
That is the goal. When it becomes automatic, that's fluency. Okay, stop. I need to talk about something because this is the moment I promised you at the very beginning.
Oh, here we go.
Here is the single biggest mistake I hear from English learners every single week. Ready?
Ready.
With emphasis. They apologize for their English before they even start speaking.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Sorry, my English isn't very good before saying anything.
Yes, exactly that. And here's why it's a mistake. When you say, sorry, my English is bad, you're telling your brain, I'm going to fail. And your brain listens.
It's like scoring an own goal before the game starts.
So here's the rule, and it's just one rule. Instead of, sorry, my English isn't great, say nothing. Just start. Or if you need a phrase, say, bear with me. I want to make sure I say this clearly.
Oh, that's good. That sounds professional, not apologetic.
Exactly. It reframes the whole moment. You're not apologizing for your English, you're showing care for the communication. That is completely different.
And honestly, as a native speaker, when someone says, bear with me, I just think they're being thoughtful. I don't think anything negative at all.
Yes, that's the insight. Other people are not judging your English as harshly as you are. Okay, mini quiz number 2. A little harder this time. Alex, you're playing.
Okay.
Question 1. You're in a meeting. You're not sure you understood. What do you say?
If I understand correctly, and then repeat what I heard.
Perfect. Question 2. You want to explain a complex idea. You need a second to think. What's your phrase?
What I'm trying to say is,
Yes. Question 3. Hardest one. You're about to start speaking and you feel nervous. What do you not say?
sorry, my English isn't very good.
Exactly. And instead,
Bear with me. I want to make sure I say this clearly.
if you got all 3, honestly, you are solid B1, B2. Be proud of that, seriously. And okay, in our takeaway section, I'm going to give you something even more powerful because we've talked about what to say and what not to say, but there's one thing, one mindset shift that makes all of these phrases actually work, and that is coming up next.
Oh, I think I know what you're going to say.
Maybe. Let's find out. Okay, before the challenge, let's lock in the big 3 from today, because these are the things I want you to remember tomorrow and next week and forever. Number 1, use phrases that buy you time and show confidence. I'm currently working on. One thing I really enjoy is, to be honest with you, these are your confidence anchors. Use them.
And honestly, the more you use them, the more natural they feel. It's like practice makes permanent, not perfect.
Number 2, stop apologizing for your English before you speak. Remember, bear with me. I want to make sure I say this clearly. That one swap changes how people hear you completely.
I cannot stress this enough. We notice the confidence, not the accent, not the grammar. Confidence is what lands.
And number 3, here's that mindset shift I promised you, the one that makes everything else work. Ready?
Very ready.
The goal is not perfect English. The goal is understood English. Those are not the same thing. Understood English gets you the job, gets you the connection, gets you the conversation. Perfect English is not required.
That is honestly something more native speakers should remember too.
So, here's your 3-phrase formula for today. Say it with me out loud. I'm currently working on. Bear with me. What I'm trying to say is. Say those 3 right now, out loud, even if it feels a little silly. That's the practice.
I just said them. Still feels good every time.
Okay, here is your 24-hour challenge. It's simple, it's doable, and it works. Today, sometime in the next 24 hours, have a small conversation in English. Could be out loud by yourself, could be with a friend, could be at a shop, an online meeting, anywhere, and use at least one of the 3 phrases we practiced today. Just one.
That's it. One phrase, one conversation.
That's it. Small actions done consistently, that's how fluency actually builds, not with huge leaps, with tiny daily steps. And hey, if you did this episode and you're feeling more confident right now, I want to know. Drop the word confident in the comments, just that one word. It tells me this episode was worth making, and it helps other learners find us too.
Yes, confident in the comments. I love seeing those.
And next episode, we're going to talk about something that trips up even advanced learners, and it's not what you think.
Oh, I know what it is. And yeah, nobody sees it coming.
If you haven't subscribed yet, now is honestly the perfect moment. Thank you so much for being here today. Keep going, keep practicing, and remember, your English is better than you think.
See you in the next one. Bye, everyone.